Sometimes, the moment you're about to quit is the moment your miracle begins. This is the story of Ethan Miller, an ordinary young man from a small American town. A man who lost everything more than once, but refused to give up on his dream. A story that reminds us all that even in the darkest nights, a small flame can still light the way. Ethan Miller grew up in a quiet town in the Midwest, one of those places where everyone knows your name, and dreams often stay small. But Ethan had a big dream. He wanted to start his own business, not to get rich, but to do something meaningful. Ever since he was a kid, he loved candles. He said, "A small flame can make any room feel like home." So he decided to build a candle company that would remind people of warmth, hope, and light. He worked at a local hardware store during the day and spent his nights in his mom's garage, melting wax, mixing scents, and designing labels by hand. His mom always smiled and said, "Keep going, Ethan. The world needs your light." After 2 years of hard work, he finally saved enough to rent a tiny booth at the Saturday market. He stacked his handmade candles neatly, took a deep breath, and waited for customers. Hours passed. People smiled, nodded, but kept walking. By sunset, not a single candle had sold. Ethan packed his boxes and drove home in silence. That night, he sat alone in his car outside the house and whispered, "Maybe just not good enough." But something in his heart wouldn't let him quit. The next morning, he woke up and tried again. Week after week, he kept showing up. Same booth, same smile, same dream. Until one morning, an elderly woman stopped at his table. She picked up a candle, closed her eyes, and said, "This one smells like my childhood home." She bought two. Ethan's first sale. It didn't change his life overnight, but it changed his heart. From then on, he worked harder, pouring his soul into every candle he made. Months later, his little booth started attracting regular customers. People loved his kindness, his patience, his belief. Things were finally getting better. Then, one cold night, tragedy struck. A spark from a faulty wire ignited his garage. By the time firefighters arrived, everything was gone. His candles, his supplies, his savings, his dream. Ethan stood there in the freezing air, watching the flames eat years of hard work. He dropped to his knees, tears falling on the ashes. For the first time, he whispered, "I give up." The next morning, his phone rang. It was one of his customers, the same woman who bought his first candle. She said, "Ethan, I heard what happened. We're all coming together to help you rebuild." Within days, dozens of neighbors showed up with donations: jars, wax, tools, money, even food. They said, "Your light helped us when we needed it. Now let us help you." Ethan cried. That day, he realized something powerful. He had lost everything, but he hadn't lost faith. And faith is what builds everything back. Months later, Ethan reopened his business, this time in a small downtown shop. He called it Built by Hope. Every candle had a label that read, "Keep going, your light matters." His story spread across town, then across the internet. He started receiving letters from people who said his candles and his story gave them courage to keep trying. Years later, a young man walked into his store and said quietly,
I was about to give up on my dream until I saw your sign." Ethan smiled, handed him a candle, and said, "Then this one's for you. Never give up." As the man walked out, Ethan looked around his bright little store, shelves glowing with soft light, customers smiling, and whispered, "Maybe this was the dream all along." The moral of the story is, never give up. Sometimes the darkest moments come right before your brightest light. Keep believing, keep going, and your story will inspire others to do the same.